Alright, we are live. And yeah, so the original plan was I was going to do Streetwise. But I had forgotten that I actually had packed that up. I don't actually have too many PS2 games with me at the moment. I got a couple that I feel like I was going to stream at some point while I'm at this location. But, so I just had a poll to say, hey, you know, out of these couple games, what would guys like to see me stream? And it was a really last minute poll, admittedly, so there wasn't too many votes, but there was 2 votes, and both votes voted Metal Gear Solid 3. So here we are. I do have the HD version of this on PS3, but for one, I don't have the PS3 version, and the PS3 version also is missing a few things. It's been a hot minute since I played Metal Gear Solid. So, I'm gonna be very rusty. I used to play this game all the time when it first came out. Both this and Subsistence. I think everything's okay. Good to go there. Basic action. Yeah, we can go through here and, watch stuff. So we're starting fresh. This is an entirely new game. This game will contain multiple playthroughs. I'll go ahead and say that right now. I'm gonna do what I normally do whenever I play Metal Gear Solid 3. Might hear the echo here. I'm just gonna check the audio here.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into 2, East and West. This
I think I
marked
can turn
the
it up
beginning
just a
of the
little
era
bit here.
called the Cold War.
We'll try that right there. Pretty excited. Metal Gear Solid's always been a series that I've liked and enjoyed. My very first Metal Gear Solid game was Metal Gear Solid 1 for PlayStation, and then I've been kind of hooked ever since. So this session is probably going to be nothing but the Virtuous Mission, depending on how long it is. Because it is a Metal Gear Solid game, it is a bit on the longer side of the game.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check.
Hey, Iridor. First Metal Gear Solid for me was MGS4. MGS4 is pretty good.
Zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
I will say, in my personal opinion, I think I like Metal Gear Solid 4 more than 5 overall. Like, I just think the highs of Metal Gear Solid 4 are better than the highs of 5.
Put on your mask. Does this panty waist know what he's doing?
Approaching release.
But yeah, it's pretty funny too, my history
10
with
minutes
this
to
game
drop off.
series. I actually experienced this game at a buddy's house, and yeah, ever since then. And that was when I was really heavily into RPGs. Like, I didn't play anything but RPGs, but just Metal Gear Solid kind of slipped in and just became a thing I really liked. MGS4 feels kind of ambitious, if you ask me. It really is, yeah. Like, they did a lot of stuff with MGS4.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
We're gonna get to Metal Gear Solid 4 at some point.
Sunrise.
But that won't be for a little bit. I'm going by chronological order by the timeline. Is the preferred way I play Metal Gear Solid games. So obviously we're playing the best one first.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
God, it's been a good
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
couple years. I want to say the last time I played Metal Gear Solid 3 was probably when the HD collection came out.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status
Hey, there
okay.
he is.
All green.
Prepare for drop-off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
Directed by Hideo Kojima.
Jack, I've got some important news.
I still have not played his newest game.
The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light.
I don't know.
for
I'm
the
a little
Virtuous Mission.
iffy about that
Virtuous
Stranding.
Mission.
No, the Virtuous Mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous Mission. Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
Shout out to David
Don't
Hayter.
get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB-754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April
Yeah, I
12th,
think he made it a rocket or two.
1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin into orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket.
I've always liked the Metal Gear
After
Solid
Gagarin's
series, where it kind of
flight,
takes like
Sokolov
reality,
left
like real,
rocket development
history, and combine it with
become
its
the head
own
of the
fantasy
newly
twist to it.
established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story. So why do you want to
Also,
defect?
shout out the stock
It
footage.
seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid.
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the
Jeez,
research
could you
facility
imagine?
in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The president demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
I was gonna
So
say,
what
I don't
did the
think that's the
Russians
place where
really want?
Peace Walker takes
Sokolov.
place at.
They
I
wanted
think it's
us
around
to
that area
return
where Peace Walker is.
Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets
no, it's
pulled
not.
out
Never
of
mind,
Cuba
ignore me.
just to get
I
their
don't know
hands
what
on
I'm talking
Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then, a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No. Missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device.
Uh-oh.
For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No. According to our intelligence, he's in Selinoyarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
Thank you.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selinoyarsk in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west.
So in some cutscenes, you can go in first-person mode and look around. It's actually pretty nice.
If we don't
Sometimes they
get
don't
Sokolov
tell
back
you can
before
do that, so
weapon
that
is
it's
complete,
hidden in some
we'll be facing a
cutscenes.
major crisis. The clock is ticking.
I'll try to show it off if I remember.
Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
We'll be seeing that a lot in
Take it easy.
Peace Walker.
It's been combat-proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talent?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast,
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
U.S. Army. I'm running that in the 3DS version of MGS3. Instead of the Ape Escape Easter egg, you find a Yoshi one instead. Oh, really? That's neat. I never actually played the 3DS version of MGS3. I need to pick it up at some point. But speaking of Ape Escape, because we are doing the PS2 version, it does have the Ape Escape mini games. We'll be checking out when we unlock them. But that's cool. There's a Yoshi Easter egg. I gotta get used to the controls again. Okay, let's roll. First person. What's tiptoe? There we go. Yeah. Also, this version of Metal Gear Solid introduced a free camera. But you can always go back to classic style if you want to, which is a nice little option.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other.
God, he was 55 at this
Your
point.
code
Well, I mean,
name
he was like
mission
really
will be
old in Metal Gear
Naked
Solid
Snake.
4. So
I'll
that
be
makes
referring
sense.
to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. Oh, and Snake.
Yeah,
The crew isn't watching anymore. You can take off the disguise now.
good idea. This isn't right. Time for the snake to shed his skin.
Little extra cutscene if you picked, I like MGS2 at the beginning. It's like leaves. I've never seen them before.
Can you hear me, Major Tom? This is Snake. Kept you waiting, huh?
This will be a sneaking mission. You must not
So the
be
more you
seen
actually
by
talk
the
to these guys on the codec, you
leave
can
no
actually
trace
unlock
of
more
your
personal
presence.
data about them. It's
Is that
actually really
clear?
nice.
This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've
Snake.
been issued a knife and a tranquilizer.
How do I eat?
Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you
Camera
better go
movement,
back
huh?
and get
Yeah.
it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85.
All right, let me look at the
I'll
back
give
of the
you
case.
a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
I'm gonna be very rusty here, so just bear with me here, Woody.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out
I
of
hear
your
my PS still
backpack.
making clicking noises.
In the
everywhere. It's
survival
getting pretty
viewer,
old.
choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the Enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from Item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun?
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure.
Get used to that.
You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily wastes. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory...
Could you imagine that was
is a
actually a Metal Gear
violation of
Solid
international conventions
mechanic,
of
that you
warfare.
actually had to go hunt
There
your
aren't
bullets
supposed
down
to
and
be any
whatnot and
American
dispose of
soldiers
them?
in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So, how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
You'll be false death
I'll
forever.
keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, You remember the boss, don't you?
Here we go.
A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me. Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top-secret mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top-secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
Oh,
People
boy.
aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your codename is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit. A group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you
I
up,
remember
you'll be
back in the
fine.
day, some people
Isn't that
really
right,
wanted
Snake?
that game.
Yeah.
Where you play as the
I can't
boss
think
and
of
the
anyone
Cobra
else
units.
I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC. Close quarters combat, huh?
It's the big,
I've been in the Green
big thing
Berets
for
for the
this
past
game.
few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the Major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
All right. Wonder what the story will look like if there had been some kind of side game with the boss. It would have been really interesting, but unfortunately, with Konami being Konami, I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think it would have been pretty rad.
Commencing Virtuous Mission now.
All right. Okay, so in normal mode, it gives us 1 calorie mate. Little product placement there. I remember I played this game so many times, I didn't really mess with too much with the camouflage. It would have, yeah. Alright, so for this particular run, the first time I played through, we're not going to go for the secrets, but I am going to show off the first one here. And it's actually been a while since I played a playthrough of this game without going for these guys. This is the HD remake. No, this is the PS2 original. So we got this guy a little over here. And you can unlock a few things if you shoot every one of these, but we're not going to do it for this particular playthrough. We'll do it in the next playthrough. Oh, no, no. Yeah, this is not my first time playing Snake Eater. It's just been a few years since I last played it. Let's see if Paramedic says anything about it.
That area is home to the reticulated python. The reticulated python is said to be the
I've
longest snake in the
played
world.
just about all the
Biggest
Metal
ones
Gear
can
Solid
be up to 10 meters
games
in length.
at this
Although they're
point.
not poisonous,
There's
they're
a few.
still
Like,
very
I never
dangerous,
played
so
the
be careful
Portable
with them.
Ops. I never played
They have a highly
Acid.
ferocious temperament, and they can swallow whole, even large
And I've never
animals like deer
played
and pigs.
Metal Gear
Their
2.
most
I played Metal
distinguishing
Gear, but I
feature
never
is
played
the
Metal Gear
mesh
2.
pattern of their scales. This pattern
And I've never
acts as
played
highly
us,
effective natural camouflage.
Survive. I never played Metal
If
Gear
you
Survive
think there
yet
might
either.
be a reticulated python about,
Or the 3DS
pay
Metal
close
Gear.
attention to your surroundings. Otherwise, you could get bitten before you even know it's there. It's a huge snake, but you should be able to capture it alive by using the tranquilizer gun. I'll bet if you capture one and throw it at an enemy, it'll give him a good scare.
Right. But how do they taste?
Huh?
Do they taste good?
You're actually going to eat one.
Why else would I be asking?
Cannibal.
I've touched
What
only
was that?
4 and 2, but never beaten
Nothing.
them. Okay.
Let's see what the guide says. You know
I
what?
recommend them. They're
It says
pretty
they taste
longish
pretty
game.
good.
Well, 2's actually a pretty short game. 4 is
hardly
definitely
wait.
on the longer end. Whoops.
The gauge below your life gauge is your stamina gauge. It shows, as the name suggests, your remaining stamina.
I gotta get used to the confirming.
As you
Cancel
consume
buttons.
stamina, your natural life regeneration is slowed, and your hands shake more. Your O2 gauge and grip gauge also become shorter. Excessively low stamina can often impede your mission objectives. Make sure you replenish stamina before that occurs.
I'll take that. I think life medicine adds... Oh, so you gotta take into consider weight for your items in this game, because they can affect your stamina. I never used a cigar, so let's go ahead and take that off. I do use that. We can take off the directional mic for now. Gonna go ahead and try to find a snake real quick. Yeah, you can't punch while I'm crouching. There we go. It's getting late, gonna head out, Night Dish. Alright, thanks for coming out, Airdor. Enjoy the rest of your night, buddy. Get plenty of rest. I know it's pretty late. Got a soft frog there. Alright, let's get back to some of the video game here. We can also do this too. I actually never really work on the push-ups here. I don't even know if you can level this up or not in this game. I know you can do it in Metal Gear Solid 2. Wasted quite a bit of stamina there, but it's okay. So I'm probably only going to be going for 2 hours, though, this time around. Just because I do got to do some stuff around the house. We got gators. I think there's some grenades around here somewhere. guess that's the noise gators make. This thing is taking a while. Holy cow. Oh, is that detonation? There we go. That took longer than I thought it was going to. Oh, that's bug juice. Okay. I could have sworn there was some grenades in this area. Or maybe it was in a previous area and I just missed it. Gross. There's actually quite a bit of stuff you can actually find in the Virtuous Mission that you don't normally get till later on in the main game. Why does it take so long? Let's go ahead and eat one of these now.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. I think Paramedic will actually say something about it now. Naked Gear Liquid 3 Solidus Abuse. I never heard of that version. But welcome to the chat. I keep getting these buttons mixed up.
I see you've captured an Indian gavial. The Indian gavial is a crocodile that originally lived in freshwater regions in India and Nepal.
Why are Indian crocodiles way out here?
They're captive crocodiles that were brought here for research purposes but escaped and became wild again.
Oh boy.
Indian gavials are large creatures. Adult males grow to over 6 meters in length. You'll never catch one alive, even if you use the tranquilizer gun.
That sounds
I
like a
tried
challenge.
the meat. It was great.
Well, good for you. But be careful when capturing an Indian gavial. Normally they're cowardly creatures. But
But yeah, the unique thing about this, the snake does comment on these kind of things if you eaten it before calling
They
her
weren't the direct subject
and
of
stuff
any
like that. It's
serious
actually a really
research,
nice little
but
detail.
some think they may have become violent as a side effect of the atomic research that was conducted nearby.
No, I didn't want to do
I
that.
see you found some Russian oyster mushrooms.
We're gonna learn about some mushrooms too.
The Russian oyster mushroom is an edible variety that belongs to the shimeji family. It's known to be particularly rich in vitamin B1 and niacin. Apparently, it's usually found growing on tree stumps and hollow logs, so look there if you want to eat some.
I swear there was some grenades around here. Oh, that's not all. Sorry. I apologize, sir. I'll leave you be. God, that took half my health.
What can I say?
Right, you can't heal health normally with food. That's right, that's right. I gotta get good again at this game.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer. The
Wait, you're going too
uniform
fast,
option
boss.
lets you pick your uniform, while the face option lets you change your face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the Camo Index. The Camo Index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
Okie dokie. I'm gonna not do that. Too much. We actually have 5 suppressors. Holy cow. Okay. Unfortunately, you can't crawl walk in this game. I missed him. There we go. Stun the grenades. these. Okay. I think there's one more, but I don't think we really need to worry about it.
Something there.
No.
I must be seeing things.
Oh, there he is. Okay, I see him. I don't think we can get any camouflage and face paints on the Virtuous Mission, but I might be wrong on that. I mean, if we miss anything, we can always do it in another playthrough. That's not too big of an issue. Because I'm trying to do this, a lot of this from memory. But, face he makes. It's too good. So if I recall correctly, we want to wait just a little bit before shooting this thing. Also, what? This is going to be pretty funny. I had this guard get distracted by this frog before. Maybe he wasn't close enough. There they go. So they do come back, so don't dilly-dally too long. What is it got right there? Okay.
Who's that? Who's that?
Ah.
Come in and
There's something wrong. Support unit, confirm their status.
I think I'm not playing European Extreme.
I'm just seeing.
Oh god, there's 3 of them. My aim is terrible.
What's wrong?
Okay, cool. I'm hoping to get a ration from one of these guys, but we'll see. not be using that. I don't think we need to do anything. Whoops, wrong button.
Sokolov should be at the abandoned factory to the north, so head in that direction.
Yeah, we can't even do that yet. Okay, so we don't have to worry about stuff like that just yet.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump.
It's almost like he's abandoned or something.
I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
All right. Of course he's gonna move. The sounds of nature. So this is normal difficulty that we're playing on, so I don't remember quite how long they stay asleep for. But you can tell if they're about to wake up depending on the amount of C's they have above their head. There's somebody. Oh, okay. I thought Snake got his fate stuck in the fence there. There he is. I think somebody might be on the roof. Or I might be thinking of jump ahead. There's like face paint there in the main game, if I'm not misremembering. I do miss being able to crawl while crouch. I do kind of miss that though.
Huh?
Oh shoot.
The enemy is close by.
At least we hear some groovy music though.
What's wrong?
Okay. I think we can be in caution and go to him still. No, Snake. Thank you. Yeah, we get. Okay. Nice papers.
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volkin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means
Snake.
he's a man of his
I think it's
word.
pretty obvious.
But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of Gru. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the Army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is
I love this
Colonel
artwork
Volgin
here.
of Gru.
It's really nice.
He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power. The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly.
I love the leather stretching sound effects.
They
Goes
wouldn't
in code.
need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so? America is truly a frightening country.
Yeah.
Having second thoughts.
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
I managed to get past them.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
Sokolov, what are you even doing?
Freeze!
What is it, a predicament?
So this is the legendary boss.
Huh?
Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz.
Huh?
What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
Hey, Ocelot.
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ha! That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
Fancy shooting game. This music. I've never actually listened to this music with headphones on in game. It's actually pretty good.
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
I love it.
GRU operatives!
What is that stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one!
This song right here reminds me very MGS2 here.
ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do, but testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, don't run after Sokolov or anything.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
I think there's a couple conversations we can have before running off here. So you never have to worry about these guys waking up. It's scripted. My mouse trap. Where'd he go? There it is. Oh, is he the only one that has anything on him? It looks like it. Okay.
I see you've caught yourself a Sunda whistling thrush. The Sunda whistling thrush is a bird native to Java and Sumatra. It's distinguished by its large blue body and long beak. It really stands out in the forest.
Got it. So...
How does it taste?
yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know?
The guide doesn't say. I guess there's no reason you couldn't eat them.
Oh, I see.
But it's nice and plump, so I'm sure it'd make a hearty meal.
That's a good point.
I thought they say something. Maybe it's the second Ocelot encounter I'm thinking of.
Snake, stay alert. The KGB and GRU both have their sights set on Sokolov. GRU is a military espionage outfit, the intelligence wing of the Soviet Defense Ministry's General Staff Office. It competes with the KGB, which is under the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and the two are always watching each other.
Never let the left hand know what the right hand is doing.
Exactly. Now, added to that rivalry, there's a vicious power struggle going on between the Khrushchev faction and the anti-Khrushchev faction.
So Khrushchev is using the KGB, and Volgan and the anti-Khrushchev forces are using the GRU?
That's the idea. The two factions are fighting over Sokolov. We're in an extremely dangerous situation here.
Very extremely dangerous.
I'm aware of that.
Get Sokolov out of there safely. He must not be turned over to the KGB or to the GRU. Sokolov took off in the direction of the rope bridge. Get after him. Hurry!
What are you doing?
Major, have you been able to contact the boss?
No.
You really think it's bad reception?
We're looking into it.
Major.
Snake, you've got more important things to worry about than contacting the boss. Right now,
Why
Sokolov
don't you
is
bring
out
up the
there
fact that he
wandering
was
around the
asking about
jungle
the
alone.
boss, Snake?
What are you going to do if he gets caught by the enemy? We're still looking into why we lost contact with the boss. I'll let you know as soon as we find anything out. In the meantime, it's your job to find Sokolov and get him to safety. Got it?
Major, do you know anything about this GRU colonel Sokolov was talking about?
There's actually quite a bit of
Yes.
optional dialogue here.
Who is he?
A most dangerous man indeed. His name is Yevgeny Borisovich Volgin. His code name in the West is Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt.
He's gained a reputation as the most brutal and cold-blooded of the Soviet spy masters. During the war, Volgin was assigned to the domestic branch of the NKVD. He was stationed in the rear of the Soviet line to catch and punish any troops who tried to retreat or desert. He's also notorious for his accomplishments in anti-guerrilla operations in the Ukraine and the Baltic states. Apparently, he likes to boast that he disposed of over 100,000 anti-communists. We also know that he was instrumental in putting down the 1953 insurrection in East Germany and the 1956 uprising in Hungary. He is truly a fearsome man. There's no telling what he might be plotting. Be careful.
I will. Major, what's this Grand Design Bureau Sokolov was talking about?
OKB 812. It's the same type of top-secret facility as Sokolov's own OKB 754. The director is a man by the name of Alexander Leonovich Granin. He's Sokolov's
Didn't think we'd learn
arch
about him
rival,
so soon.
and the two have competed fiercely against each other since the days of the war. To hear Sokolov tell it, though, the rivalry was really all in Granin's head. In any case, Granin seems to harbor an unusually intense hatred for Sokolov. Knowing that Sokolov was protected under the aegis of Khrushchev, Granin threw in his lot with Volgin, the vanguard of the anti-Khrushchev movement. Apparently, Granin meant to use the funds provided by these opposition forces in order to defeat his old foe. Volgin, for his part, was intrigued by the possibility of using the high-tech weapons Granin created in the fight against Khrushchev. Thus, the two formed an alliance, and Volgin took the Granin Design Bureau under his control.
But now Volgin's got his sights set on Sokolov.
Yes, it would seem that he and Granin aren't getting along so well after all. By the way, Snake, what were you doing back there?
Back where?
You were giving some kind of
here it
advice
is.
to
This
a
is what I
crew
was thinking
commander,
of.
weren't you?
Yeah.
He's your enemy. What the hell were you thinking?
Really? What was all that about doing the thing with your hand on the first round or whatever?
Whenever he put a new clip in his gun, he'd always load the first round by hand, whether there was a round.
It's so
in
easy
the
to miss the
chamber or
kind of
not.
stuff, too.
It's a technique they teach in the Middle East. By making sure there's always a round in the chamber, you eliminate the risk of pulling the trigger with nothing to fire. He must have heard about it from someone or read it somewhere. In any case, he probably wanted to try it out for himself. And he was obviously motivated by vanity to show off his new technique. That's when you make mistakes. The battlefield is an unforgiving place. The only techniques you can rely on are the ones you've mastered through experience and practice.
Uh-huh. And what were you saying about him being more suited to revolvers?
When he fired, he was bending his elbow sharply to avoid the recoil. It looked like he wasn't aware he was doing it, but that habit can be either a fatal flaw or a gift.
What do you mean?
Automatic weapons use recoil to operate, so if you don't let the recoil hit you, it interferes with the operating cycle of the gun. Basically, he shouldn't be trying to avoid the impact like that. But with a revolver, there's no need to let the recoil hit you. Just the opposite. Avoiding the recoil lets you reduce the strain on your hand and arm. That kid might just be handy with a high-caliber revolver.
Handy? Are you listening to yourself?
What do you mean?
He's the enemy. Why are you giving him advice?
I
Snake.
don't know. For some reason, I couldn't help but point it out to him.
Snake, are you
It's
all
like I
right?
have this sense he's going to be an important character later on or something.
Snake, remember that this operation is a solo sneaking mission. We'll be providing you with support over the radio.
This is
Out
where
in the
it
field,
starts to,
you're on your own.
be its own thing.
There's no backup.
Or on loops now.
And there's no way you'll survive a battle with a large enemy contingent. Avoid engagement whenever possible. Your highest priority in this mission is staying out of sight. Snake, when your stamina...
Yeah, I think this is starting to be normal now.
Your actions can...
I see you've got yourself a Baltic hornet's nest.
The paramedic
Baltic
stuff is,
hornets are
you can
variety
always
of
talk to her
hornets
about
that
this stuff.
inhabit
You
that
can't really
area.
miss too much of this.
The difference between them and other hornets is that they produce honey in their nests. Inside the nests are larvae, pupa, and adults. You can eat them all. In particular, the honey you find inside the nest is delicious and full of nutrients. It's easy to digest and helps pep you up when you're feeling tired. In short, it's the perfect survival food. Honey can also be used as a burn ointment. When honey is applied to a burn, it creates a protective coating over the skin. When you knock down a hornet's nest, a burn ointment will appear along with it, so don't forget to pick it up. Of course, the hornets aren't going to give up their nest without a fight. If you knock a nest down, a large swarm of hornets will come flying out, so be careful.
That's what bug juice is for.
I see you have a calorie mate.
Oh, here's calorie.
Calorie mate.
The thing you're holding now?
Oh, the little block that looks like a cookie?
Try it, it's pretty good.
Okay, but what is this thing? Never seen anything like it.
Calorie Mate is an energy supplement that contains all the proteins, lipids, vitamins, carbohydrates, and minerals needed for a balanced diet. It's a well-balanced
I think they actually
food.
released like special
Because of
editions
that, it's
of
just perfect
Calorie
for
Mates
giving
back
your
in the
body
day when this game
nutrition
came
it
out.
needs in combat.
It sounds like a space-age food.
Real astronaut food is not very good, but that should taste fine.
Yeah, and it'll help balance out all this jungle food I'm eating.
It's easy and quick to eat, so it's perfect when you're running late for an important mission in the morning.
I've never been late for a mission.
Really? Aren't you always keeping people waiting?
Huh?
It's easy to keep track of your calorie intake and receive the nutrition your body needs, so it's good for losing weight, too. All of the geisha girls in Japan use it for watching their calories.
Is that why they're all so slim?
Right. And any diet where you eat nothing at all is bad for the body.
I see. You seem to know a lot about Japan, don't you?
Yes, I love Japan. I see you found some Siberian Ink Cap Mushrooms.
I think we already did this one, didn't we?
The Siberian Ink Cap is a mushroom from the ink cap family. Its life cycle is transitory. As soon as the spores mature, the cap starts to turn black, liquefy, and melt away.
And that's why they call it an ink cap?
That's right. It doesn't really turn to liquid, but you get the idea. In its immature state, before it melts away, it's valued as a source of food. Just be sure not to eat them while you're drinking alcohol.
Why's that?
Ink caps contain coprin, which inhibits the function of aldehyde dehydrogenase. This prevents the body from breaking down alcohol, causing a buildup of acetaldehyde.
Meaning?
Meaning it will give you the hangover from hell.
Oh. Wait a minute.
What?
You think I'd drink alcohol in the middle of a mission?
Wouldn't you?
Hell no.
Well, I'm knocking a shot back now.
What?
What?
Just teasing you.
No.
Oh, come on. Where's your sense of humor?
I need a drink.
I see you found a Yabloko Moloko.
Yabloko Moloko, that's a powerful name.
Diablo, what now?
Yabloko Moloko. It's a Russian name that roughly translates as milk apple. It's a type of star apple. The juice is thick and sweet, like milk, hence the name. And if you cut one in half lengthwise, you'll see a star-shaped ring radiating out from the center.
Hence the star apple.
Right. The star-shaped part has a gelatinous texture and is said to be especially tasty.
Sounds useful.
You're welcome.
For once.
Did you say something?
No, back to the mission.
Snake, there are rats living in that area.
Rats!
The rats in that area are the descendants of wild Norway rats that were domesticated by humans as pets and lab animals. They're not poisonous, and I don't think they'll attack you, but they're quick little creatures, so you might have a hard time catching one.
Uh-huh. So how do they taste?
Snake?
What?
They're rats.
I know what they are. Do they taste okay?
The guide says they're not that bad.
Good enough for me.
Ugh.
We're actually gonna save here too.
Saving the game, Snake?
Because usually when you save the game with Paramedic, you talk about movie references and whatnot. It's pretty nice.
Hey, Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla, King of Monsters?
No. What is it?
It's a movie. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla, who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
Give it some time. There's
Godzilla is
Peace
immune
Walker.
to all weapons, and humanity has no way to stop the monster. Dr. Shirazawa develops a new type of weapon, but meanwhile, Godzilla is getting closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating everything in its path. It was originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version, too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you ever get the chance. It's mostly mindless fun, but it's also got a serious anti-nuke message as well.
Where can I see the original?
You'll just have to go to Japan.
Really? That's too bad.
Well, if you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America, too.
Why's that?
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
You think they're still going to be making Godzilla movies then?
Of course. Everybody loves Godzilla.
You sure know a lot about movies.
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
Okay, then I'll tell you everything I
Now,
know.
oh, by the way, in
When the
2004,
going
this
gets
movie
tough,
franchise will
movies
be
can
50
save your
years
life.
old.
It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
Alright, let's move on with the game. After I eat some stuff. Because we'll be losing all this.
I want some more. Tasty.
Tasty. I love that. I love that. Tasty. That actually might be a pretty good thing for point channels.
Disgusting.
I have to remember that one. If I ever get affiliated.
Not so great. Sick.
Yuck.
Delicious. Pretty tasty.
Thank you, Snake. Snake's a regular critic when it comes to food, I suppose. So, Snake, what were you doing this whole time?
You okay? Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best crew has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished.
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we've got some of the best backup we could ask for.
Look.
Jesus.
That's what they were making you build.
Yes. The Shagohod. The treading behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh, yes. and without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo.
Not Metal Gear, though.
Is that thing finished?
No, this is only the end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2?
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
A world war.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
This is pretty much most of the rest of this session is going to be this final cutscene. When it prompts me to save, that's when I'm going to save. And we'll end it there. But we're pretty much done with the Virtuous Mission at this point.
Boss?
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Hornets?
This is definitely Metal Gear, that's for sure. Man. I'm thinking about how Metal Gear Solid 5 kind of retcons these guys a little bit.
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back, boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go to the depths of hell itself. It's raining blood. Is he crying?
Kuwabara, Kuwabara.
Big Hogan.
Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads. These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us Cobras. He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
He's seen my face. We can't let him live. If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
Wait. He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him. Jack, you can't come with us.
I don't know why he falls for this. The shock on his face.
The new blood has been rejected.
Are we done here?
Now, onto Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
I don't think Snake is doing too good here. Man, she effed me up, man.
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah, just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Major. The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window.
So usually with this, I just use everything. I don't even like pay attention to it. I just use everything till it's good to go.
And rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left analog stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left analog stick to select the medical item and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound. If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
Do it now. Yeah, we're pretty beat up. So there is a hidden thing over here. I don't know if we can see it from here. Yeah, right there. There's a skeleton there. That's actually the Sorrow, believe it or not. Can't really see it. The old style camera. Oh, can we actually?
Snake, hurry and get those injuries treated. Snake,
Snake, what are you doing? Hurry up and treat those wounds. First, open...
Okay, she just goes over that again. Yeah, this is basically what I do. That's it. I just do this over and over again. Just throw everything on there, Snake. Oh, this noise here. Ugh.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Can you set it up? A dead guy. That. safe.
Shagohod.
This is awesome. He's so excited.
Excellent. A great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
She's a nice catch. I'll take her.
I'll take her.
Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death?
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her. She has spunk.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Says the guy who killed, you know, his fellow Russians, but...
Colonel!
But still, yeah, this is still pretty bad. Yeah, that's not good. All right. This is where we're gonna end the session. I want to thank everybody who came out, checked the stream for a little bit, and yeah, this will be our Monday game going forward for a little bit now. Mondays I usually reserve to just doing whatever I just feel like it, and I just, you know, we're gonna be playing Metal Gear Solid 3 for a little bit. That was the game that was picked. So we're actually going to go ahead and exit out of that. We'll watch that next Monday. But yeah, again, thanks to everybody who came out, checked out the stream, even for a little bit. And anybody who checks out the YouTube replays later on, thank you. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3. I'm looking forward to it. I think I shooken off the rust a little bit, but we're probably still going to get into a lot of shenanigans for sure. But yeah, thanks again, everybody. Stay cool, stay safe, and be excellent.